my beautiful sisters and brothers. Thank you. Welcome to the video. Let's take a moment to breathe in and out. And now ask yourself, be honest, ask yourself, do you really know what your goals are? Or are you just aiming for what feels safe, what looks familiar, and what others told you was realistic? If you've been feeling a little off track or stuck, it might not be because you lack ambition. It might be because you're chasing someone else's dream, or maybe circling around an old version of yourself. It's okay though. It's okay if you didn't know what you didn't know. Many of us were raised in environments where survival was the goal, where choosing security over exploration was praised, where our ambitions were shaped by the limits of what others had access to, not by what we were uniquely created to do. Sis, you might have gone to school, gotten the job, or followed the plan that someone else handed you, and still found yourself asking, is this all there is? Now, just because you did that, it doesn't mean you failed. But what it means is you're now waking up. Familiarity and what's familiar isn't always aligned with who we are. We sometimes tend to follow paths we've seen work for others, careers our family members had, places our friends moved to, opportunities we hear about in passing. But what if your dream doesn't live on those roads? What if the very thing you're meant to do requires you to build a new road entirely? Sisters, this is where the shift begins. You stop copying and you start auditing. You stop asking what's safe and you start asking what's true. Let's talk about some practical skills here, how to do a personal goal audit. I've talked about audits before, but here's a quick self-audit you can do this week. And I want you to reflect on a few things first. What are 3 things I truly want in life right now? What's one goal I've been pursuing that might not actually be mine? It might be someone else's. Then I want you to research. Pick one area, career, travel, business, whatever, and find 3 people doing something that you never considered. Then I want you to reimagine, what would your life look like if you gave yourself permission to follow your path? Write a paragraph describing that version of you. And then I want you to refocus. Set one aligned goal based on that audit. Just one to start. Because remember, starting small gets us momentum to help win big. Sisters, get clear on just a small self-audit. If you want a life that is aligned with your purpose, you have to make space to ask the hard questions, the questions that you've been skipping over. What are my actual needs right now, emotionally, financially, spiritually? What brings me my deepest joy and not the surface level likes? This isn't social media life. What environments energize me and which ones just drain me completely? Who am I surrounding myself with? And do those people reflect who I'm becoming? And then you research what's possible, because sometimes we don't dream bigger simply because we don't know what exists. Google that job title you've never heard of but you saw someplace. Read the story of the woman who made a pivot at 50 years old. Watch videos from people who built lives on their own terms. And then create a vision board that's rooted in your healing and growth, not just aesthetics, because I know we do that. Sisters, look, here's your call to action to give yourself permission to dream beyond what is familiar. This week, schedule 1 hour to audit your life. Journal, reflect, pray. Let the answers come up, and then be brave enough to admit what's no longer working and bold enough to research new paths. Remember, God didn't give you a unique spirit just to fit into a recycled life plan. You were made to shine differently. Your goals should reflect your light, not someone else's spotlight. So ask yourself again, do you know what your goals are? Or are you just aiming for what you've seen? It's time to aim higher, sis. It's time to aim truer, and it's time to aim for you. Peace.